Good morning, good morning. How y'all doing this morning? Hey, crazy watcher, my watcher love. Good morning, James, my love. Good morning, Miss Crystal Ann. How's everything going? How's the babies? How's Mama? How everybody doing? This good, lovely morning on this topic Tuesday. Um, I Today is my son's appointment, so I'm excited, scared, all those emotions at one time. Hopefully, I know today itself may not give any answers because we're probably looking at tests that we have to go do, but it's one step closer from the waiting game to figure out what's going on. And this is your med check reminder also. Take your medication so you won't do like me and forget to take your medicine. Okay? Take your meds, y'all. Take your meds. He's doing okay. He's been on a diet. He's been eating a lot of salads. I did get him some milk thistle. I got him some liver aid. I got him some vitamin E because that's what my doctor told me to take for my liver. So yeah, um, I'm hoping that when we go, it's just like, oh, he needs his gallbladder out. You know what I'm saying? Because that would be the simpler explanation. That would be the simple thing to do. That would, I don't want him to have to live with a lifetime disease of NAFLD like I do, right? I don't want him to have to deal with that. So I'm hoping it's something simple like, oh, you just need your gallbladder out and you'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. And that way he doesn't have to deal with the other BS um, and whatnot. But we go today, and he's getting to see the best. I'm telling you, this doctor, I love him. He is amazing. So, you know, um, that's one thing. But this morning, I was gonna say, yeah, hopefully you won't even need that. I'm hoping that it was just a bad test. That would be the best option, wouldn't it? Just a bad test. That would be really awesome if they test again and the enzymes are normal, right? And it was just a bad test. That would be what would be awesome. Um, but I want to say the 23rd Psalm because it's one of my favorites. Um, this morning. So, I'm gonna repeat the 23rd Psalm because it's one of my favorites. I have a lot of favorites when it comes to Bible verses. If y'all have one and you let me know, I'll repeat your favorite Bible verse. But mine is, "The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. He maketh me lieth down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You preparest a table before me in front of mine enemies. You anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever." I love that one. I love the 23rd Psalm. Has always been my favorite. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Hey, Mr. Maddie. When my grandfather passed away, we actually had that on the back of his card, and I used to read it as a kid all the time. Yeah, it's the testing. It's the testing. I swear it is. How y'all? Did y'all have a good day yesterday? How's y'all's day been going today? How's everybody's doing? I was talking yesterday. I don't know if some of y'all heard it, but I was thinking of doing like once a week. We do like your favorite Romans 8:28 through 39. Hold on, I'm gonna look that one up right quick. And let's see. And I'm gonna read that one out for you. Let's see. It says, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestine to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestined, he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified, and whom he justified, them he also glorified. What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things? Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? It is God that justifieth. Who he that condemneth? If it is Christ that died, ye rather that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of God, who also maketh intercessions for us. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors, though through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is Christ Jesus our Lord. This passage emphasizes God's purpose and love for believers and assuring them of his unwavering support and ultimate victory through Christ. I'm going to tell y'all something. Anytime anything evil comes my way, I always say, in God's name. In God's name. I am covered in the blood, baby. I am covered. I know that he has me through everything. Always has, always will. Which is in Christ Jesus Lord. Yes. Hey, baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark, mommy shark, do do do. Hey, baby shark, how you doing? You know I gotta sing that song for you. It's like Happy has a special song, and you have a special song. Just because y'all have a song that's related to your name, um, and whatnot. Mr. Maddie, I did get where I can't monetize yesterday's video because of those videos I played, but it was only because of the songs that were in them, not because of the person, obviously. Hey, Beantown Love. Husby came in. Y'all know how that goes. I hope that your headache goes away, Watcher. I know how that is. That really sucks waking up with a headache. Um, I'm gonna, I'm hoping that that goes away for you because I hate waking up with a headache. Um, Now, there's something I don't know if I've ever told y'all, but this my son, yours is Philippines fourth. I'll look yours up too, Miss Briditha. My favorite for myself, um, what my son was almost named. I don't know if y'all know this, if I've told y'all this, but I almost named my son's middle name as Isaiah. That's not his middle name, but I almost named it that because in the book of Isaiah, there is a passage that says, a child shall lead the people, right? And I've always loved the book of Isaiah and the meaning behind it. So here's Miss Raditha's Philippines 4:13 in the KJV states, "I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me." I love that verse actually, Miss Raditha. I do love that verse. I do. I really do. I'm gonna read the full chapter right quick. It says, therefore, my brethren, dearly beloved and longed for, my joy and crown, so stand fast in the Lord, my dearly beloved. I beseech Edios and beseech Sinith. Since I can't really say them names, so I always have trouble with that in the Bible. That they be of the same mind in the Lord, and I entreat thee also, true ye felt yoke follow. Help those women which labored with me in the gospel, with Clement also, and with all my fellow laborers, whose names are in the book of life. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. Let your moderation be known unto all men. The Lord is at hand. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God, and peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whosoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are good report, if there are any true, if there by any virtue, and if there by any praise, think on these things. Those things which ye have both learned and received, and heard and seen in me, do, and the God of peace shall be with you. But I rejoiced in the Lord greatly, and that now at the last your care of me hath flourished again, wherein ye were also careful, but ye lacked opportunity. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned, in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to be abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. Notwithstanding ye have well done that ye did communicate with my affliction. Now ye Philippines know also that in the beginning of the gospel, when I departed from Macedonia, no church communicated with me as concerning giving and receiving, but ye only. For even in Telesaconic ye sent once again unto my necessity, not because I desire a gift, but I desire fruit that may abound to your account. But I have all and abound, and I am full, having received of Epaphroditus the things which were sent from you, an odor of a sweet smell, a sacrifice accepted, well pleasing to God. But my God shall supply all your need, according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus. Now unto God and our Father to be glory forever and ever. Amen. Salute every saint in Christ Jesus. The brethren which are with me greet you. All the saints salute you, chiefly they that of Caesar's household. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you all. Amen. See, that's the whole thing. Hey, Montauk Love. Hey, Jug, Florida promoter. Be careful, baby shark. And when you're out there doing that thing, make sure that you stay protected. Be careful because playing around with those tornadoes, you could get hurt. So just be careful, okay? I know that you like storm chasing. I'll just be careful. Hey, Montrese, how's everybody doing this morning? I was just reading some passages from the Bible this morning. Reading a few passages of people, saying their favorite verses and whatnot. Because I'm gonna tell you something. That's one thing that I am. I am a Christian through and through, and I don't expect others to be. I'm not going to tell you what to do in your life, um, but I hope through me you see that not all Christians are hateful. Not all Christians are boastful. Not all Christians are going to judge you, and that if I could show you through Christ's love that some of us are good people. Maybe it might lead you to see that God is good, and He is good all the time. Every time I've been at my lowest, I let Him take my burden, and I'm telling you, I feel so much peace in my life because of Him. So, I'm not going to tell you what to do because that's not my type of judge. You know what I'm saying? It's just like people try to use Him for judgment of others, and that's not cool, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in judging other people based on whatever they choose to believe in their life, because it's their life ultimately, right? And when I've said this before, and I'll say it again, when we both go to heaven, or whatever you want to call it, or go for judgment at the end of our life, I'm not going to be judged on your book of life. I'm going to be judged on my own. So I'm going to try to be the best person that I can be while I'm here on this earth, what time that is given to me. Because time, I'm going to say this, time is the one thing we don't get enough of. We don't get enough time. You think there's enough time to do everything you've ever wanted to do and all this. There's never enough time. Time is the one thing that slips away. And it's gone before you know it. You blink and 30 years have passed. You know what I'm saying? That is our most precious commodity, is time, people, love, friendship. Money means absolutely nothing. These superficial things in our lives mean absolutely nothing. You can't take it with you when you go. You ain't never seen a Wells Fargo behind a hearse, have you? You can't take it with you when you go. It's good to have it. It's good to be able to live, but it can come and go in an instance. Those who worship money and worship false idols, it's not going to end well for them. Girl, you good? We don't read some Bible verses and all kind of stuff and whatnot. Just reading on some Jesus. We got to have Jesus. Good morning, Rico. How you been? How you been? Sometimes Jesus is the way. And today is my son's appointment. So if y'all don't see me later this afternoon on these streets like you normally would, just know that I'm handling some shit, right? And so later today, I will be taking him to his specialist and seeing what's up. Yeah, we had to get our fix. People was saying, church lady, their favorite passages from the Bible this morning. So I read, a lot of people will say that the 23rd Psalm is theirs, and it's always been mine too. And I have multiple others. I love the book of Isaiah. I was sitting here looking up healing scriptures. In Isaiah 41:10, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will hold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. And then right here it says Jeremiah 17:14. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise. And then James 5:13. A prayer offered in faith makes a sick person well. That's why I believe in the power of prayer. Psalm 32. Lord, my God, I called you for help and you healed me. He did too, I'm telling you. Psalm 34:17. The righteous cry out and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. And he does. I'm going to tell you something. When no matter what's going on, I know I always got him to turn to. Hey, the hood table, my love. We getting some Jesus this morning. Yeah, there's a difference, church lady. I've always said that, between holding someone accountable and judging them. Judging them is meaning that you're going to say they're going to heaven or hell. You can't say they're going to heaven or hell. You don't know that. Only the book of life knows that, right? But you can surely hold someone accountable. God holds us accountable every day. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between the two. I'm gonna look up yours too, babe. Hold on. I got to copy this one separately, and then Second Corinthians 4:16 states, "Therefore we do not lose heart, though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day." This verse emphasizes the contrast between our physical decline and the spiritual renewal that occurs within us daily. It encourages believers to maintain hope and resilience despite external challenges. And then, and then Psalm 63:1 states, "O God, you are my God. Earnest I seek you. I thirst for you. My whole being longs for you in a dry and parched land where there is no water." This verse expresses a deep longing for God and a desire for his presence, often interpreted as a metaphor for spiritual thirst in a world lacking fulfillment. You know, we was just sitting there talking about Bible verses this morning. Well, you also know that, Rico, I don't judge you. I don't judge you. I'm not, and if you don't believe, that's okay. I don't tell people they have to. That's their choice in life. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Gamecock Jenny, I just believe. You know what I'm saying? And there are some people who share my belief and some people who don't. And that's okay. That's okay. How's everybody doing this morning? Y'all wake up on the good foot? Or some of y'all ready to read bitches down? Now, I was over there at Pass's house. Now, I know some of y'all don't know the beef sector. And I swear to God, the Kiki and Octavius fucking beef seems like it happens every 6 weeks. They break up and get back together. I bet y'all in another 2 weeks they're gonna be right back together. Cause they ain't mad enough to tell you the truth to stay broke up. Cause they ain't been reading each other for feels. If they were, I don't believe it. I think it's a play. I'm gonna do it in my cooling voice. I think it's the overplay for the underplay. Every time they numbers start going down, they do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but I think it's a play. They just saying the same thing they said last time. It's like talking in circles. And Octavius, I don't know how any woman could put up with that. I'm sorry. He talks in circles. I can't. He talks in cursive. I can't do it. But I did say that Ken Nola did read the shit out of Octavius yesterday, y'all. He said he was long titty, his clothes was stiff, and I was laughing. I was laughing. I was laughing in the chat. I admit it. But he was over there talking like he was the clout. I'm like, bruh, bruh, you not the clout. You don't get those kind of views that you claim and you get. You're over here to try to get views from the beefing sector. He was talking about that straight men and gay men can't be cool and talking crap about Ken being in all the gay men's chat. Well, he was up on fucking passes. What the fuck does that make you? The pot calling the kettle black? Really? Really? You can't be over here doing the same thing and then claim Ken gay because of that, because then that would mean you are stupid. Poor little Octavius cannot read to save his life. When I saw him on the purge, child, I was laughing. I'm like, you can't read to save your life, child. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. No, sweet baby Jesus. Mm-mm, you can't do it, poor little thing. I call him poor little tank tank. Because he can't do it. He can't. He ain't a reader. He just, that's not his forte. He needs to stick to his, what he can do, which for him, I believe, is like interviews and different things like that. Right? He needs to go ahead and do it. And did y'all know, man, I saw the titty. She be all over the place raising up her shirt with her titties hanging out, just like she did when she had the red bra syndrome. Hell, he was talking about Ken spreading around her nudes. All of us saw it. How many times we see this girl flash the camera? How many times we don't seen the red bra? How many times we don't seen the nakedness? Hello, every time she got drunk? I'm telling you, church lady, what the hell is up with that? I don't know. They can't read to say they like. Oh yeah, we seen some titty. Girl, we saw some titty. Straight up flash the camera. We've been seeing a lot of titties and asses and things lately. In my opinion, they do belong together. I'm gonna say this. I think this is a play, church lady, for more views, more clicks. I think that their channels were suffering, and this is their way to try to get back into the beefing sector. Girl, I should have shared out yesterday on Passage. You would have loved the reading for Filth yesterday. It was awesome. He was talking about how Octavius had tits that hang down to his waist and stuff, and he got long titties like an orangutan. And then he was talking about how the clothes was stiff and he was stinking, and they was talking about how Kiki had a dirty house. And oh Lord, child, it was given yesterday. It was given. It was given. Mm. Yeah, church lady, our sector will make some people feel more sane and feel like they normal. They'd be like, "Shit, I thought I was bad." Yeah, I said orangutan titties. He just said his titties hanging low because whatnot. And I hate to tell you, yes, you did lose some weight. Good on you, congratulations. But if you're still a 42 in waist, you ain't skinny, baby. You ain't skinny if you're wearing a 42 in waist. Let me go ahead and tell you, no, you're not skinny yet. Unless you like, no, even then, if you're still in a 42 in waist in men's, you're not skinny yet. Trust me. Unless you just tall as shit, like my daddy. That's different. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how tall he is. So it depends on his height. You know what I mean? It does depend on his height. My daddy is almost 6'5", so it does depend on weight. Now, if he's closer to 6'6" or something like that, he could be looking skinnier because of that. But if I'm not mistaken, he ain't but like 5'9" or 5'11". He ain't even 6 foot. You know what I'm saying? So no, you ain't. Mm-mm. And Ken was talking about he lost. I mean, you always been a skinny little shit, Ken. Shut up, skinny little shit. You always been little. Hell, I'm taller than Ken by a half an inch. Ken 5'6" and I'm 5'6.5", almost 5'7". He ain't never been no like real big fat dude. I will say that. I'm gonna say that, church lady, you one of the most sanest motherfuckers I know. They could try to claim you crazy child, but but see, that's little Rico. Yeah, that you skinny. My ex was 5'6" and wore 32, and he was skinny. So you really skinny, like you tiny as shit. You may have got a little, you might have got some cakes or something, but in your waist, you tiny as shit. I'm just saying. Being that tall and that little, yeah, you a little bitty thing, little bitty thing. Cause my ex was a 32 when we were together, and he was 5'6", but he was built like he was muscled up and shit, but he was skinny. You know what I'm saying? When we got together, now he ain't so skinny no more, but when we got together, he was. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a 42 and you only 5'10", you ain't skinny. I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You would have to be like a. Now I will say my son is almost 5'10" right now, and he wears a 36, and he ain't fat. He's just tall and like he ain't skinny neither, but he ain't fat neither. He's like what I guess you would say average. Um, hey, Poking Smart, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Also, for everybody out there, this is your med check reminder. Please take your medications and don't forget them. You done lost a shit ton of weight, babe, and you're down to where like I'm gonna say this. I hate y'all men sometimes. I'm just saying, y'all can cut off sugar, cut off drink sugary drinks. You ain't even got to cut out like a lot from your diet, just sugary drinks, and them motherfuckers can lose like a shit ton of weight. Let a woman try that. I'll remind you in 5 more minutes, church lady, so you won't forget. I'll wait about 10 minutes so you won't accidentally forget. I got you, girl. But like the situation with Kiki and Octavius, this happens every few months. I believe it's the overplay for the underplay. They'll be back together within 2 weeks, maybe three. I'm gonna say this. The reason I say it's a play, and this is my personal opinion, if it was for real, they would be reading each other down. Like, how many breakups in the beef sector have we seen? And these motherfuckers go balls to the walls on each other. These two are watching what they say about each other. They're trying not to go too far because they know they're not really broke up. If they was really broke up, you would hear some shit you ain't never heard before come out of these two mouths. This is a play. This is a play. I'm sorry, we've seen it before. It happens every 4 months. Every 4 months. How many times they done broke up now? How many? I also believe sometimes when she's on these panels and acting like she's drunk, she ain't really drunk. I think she's playing it up. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think it's real. 50, 11 times. I'm gonna tell you this. These two break up. We just saw, and I think that I think sometimes she is drinking. I do believe that she is back on the bottle, and I think it's a bad. I think she's an alcoholic, and I don't think that alcohol is her friend, and she needs to get away from it completely. It's her best bet is to get therapy. I think both of them need therapy. You can't be acting like that on the internet and not claim you don't need therapy. But it also seems like every time they numbers drop and dip, they do this for attention. I mean, she said, okay, now I'm gonna say this. Watch it. I'm gonna give you a little insight into this situation. One of their biggest gripes with each other is that on Mother's Day, Kiki said Octavius asked her for $6. $6. They fighting over $6. That is some stupid, petty shit. Y'all ain't really broke up because if you was, you would be talking some really fucked up shit about each other. It is predictable, Rico. Next thing you know, she's gonna be talking about like him having too big of a penis and it hurting when they have sex, and he's gonna be talking about she didn't want to do it all the time because it hurt her cuckoo. You know what I'm saying? That's what they said last time. That's all they said about each other. And yeah, she did semi talk about his aunt and his mama and him not having a job and hurt. He talked about her house being dirty and he had to clean it up. But that's that's nothing. You get what I'm trying to say? That's why I think this is all a play and they're doing it for attention. You get what I'm saying? It's for attention. I really truly believe it's for attention. It's entirely too predictable. It really is. Next thing you know, they're gonna be talking about their sex life, trying to make it more juicier, but they both not gonna go below the belt. All right. Cause I mean, we knew when they were laughing and kikiing about that was not a real thing when they first supposedly broke up. Oh, his penis too big. He want to have sex too much. No, because if you were pissed off at your ex, what you gonna say? Let me ask every person in this thing. If your ex and you broke up, you gonna say they stuff is trash. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. If you pissed at the other person, you gonna go below the belt and say, they trash. They couldn't even do nothing right. You're not gonna be bragging on how good they are at what they do. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna be saying some awful shit about each other. They ain't even doing that. We know this a play. It's a play. It's the overplay for the underplay. We ain't stupid. You gonna talk about how they didn't wash their ass. You gonna be talking about how they ain't shit. You gonna be talking about how they wouldn't keep a job. You gonna be talking about they came over and blah 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 and all this. You're gonna be talking about some really messed up shit with each other. They're gonna be going low and below the belt. Tell me I'm wrong. This ain't no breakup. It's all a play. It's all a play. And Octavius was over there hollering, he the clout. For who? Nobody watches you. You have just as many viewers as I do as a small channel, as a brand new channel. And you supposed to be this dude who's in all these different sectors and you're so awesome. You maybe have 20 people in your chat. You going over to Passa, we know why, because Passa got the clout. You're going to go to all the channels that's got the clout. We ain't dumb. Trying to holler for VS because she got the clout and her name bring numbers. We ain't stupid. We all know that's what it is when you start putting in people's names that ain't even spoke on you or spoke to you or been in your presence in a very long time. We all know it's for the clout. We all know that. Right now, I'm going to say this. And VS, if you're a cloud boo, you know what I'm talking about. If I claimed, knowing me and VS is cool right now, if I put her name in this title and said, me and VS ain't friends no more, do you know how many people would flock to this fucking chat to see what I was going to say? Or if I would say anything? We all know certain names in this sector bring views, bring numbers. We know when they reach for the OGs, right? When they reach for Mother, when they reach for even Jay Wilson, when they reach for certain names, even Lemon's name bring number. You know what I'm saying? When they reach for people in this certain OGs in this sector, their name's gonna bring clout. We all know that. It's common sense. It's common motherfucking sense. Any of the OGs names. If you put Five Babe's name in this chat, if I put it in my title right now and said me and Five Babe are best friends, do you know how many people would jump to his chat to either tell me I was dead wrong, that we ain't never spoke, or how many people would say, oh, what girl, what you got, what you know? You know what I'm saying? How many names? Y'all know. Y'all can start naming names if y'all want to, but y'all know there's a lot of names I can put in my title. I know how to do a drama live. I choose not to be in the drama. There's a difference. And I will say I was over there at Very Curious and we were having a very good conversation. And I could put, if I put Mr. Rick Reed's name or Mother or any of the OG's names, right? Lady Nika, Bree, anybody that's pulling numbers, right? And if I put their number in this title and put something drama related next to it, you can get all kind of views in the beef sector. They know this. That's why they're trying to use the beef sector. And we also know the beef sector people love to donate, especially if it's good and juicy. You know what I'm saying? We all know that the beef sector got deep pockets and they love sharing with people. And if they like the content, they're going to do what they're going to do. We know what it's for. It's for the cash apps. And I'm going to say this. Octavius was dumb as hell yesterday. Church lady, I don't know if you rewatched that, or Rico. Did y'all hear this motherfucker admit that he was on SSI disability and then admitting to getting cash apps and shit? I'm like, dude, don't be telling people your shit. Don't be stupid. Don't be dumb. Don't out yourself stupid. Like, I'm in the chat going, no, don't tell nobody that. I'm over here like, don't do that. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. That was dumb as hell. And then he was talking about he was walking 5 miles. You know there's people that get pissed at him and could do some dumb shit to him. I say this goes for everybody. Don't tell nobody your personal business in this shit. Don't do it. I also saw before I came over here, Miss Catherine's over there at Passes this morning, and her and Sheffy had a little kerfuffle up there, but it was because Miss Catherine was reading something in the chat, and Sheffy got pissed off about it, and then Brian and Sheffy got into it too. I heard that because somebody in the chat was talking about Sheffy's body, because y'all know that Sheffy had that that camera thing where she was in the shower and she had that camera slip where everybody saw everything. Everything was out and everybody saw everything, child. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we have people who actually have camera slips and the whole body be showing. You know that happens over here. Like, ooh, Lord. But here's the thing: if you report it, you're fine. But if you're not reporting it, that's when it's a problem. You know that as well as I do. You got to make sure everything's properly in its place. But yeah, don't be telling folks your business like that. I was like, oh hell no, no, I didn't just admit that. Well, we have this one dude, watcher, who does shower lives, but he don't show nothing. Um, Although they have said, a lot of people say he has sent his member picture around to people. But I think it was a camera slip, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't meant to, like, she walked into the camera, but it wasn't meant to be seen. Um, yeah, Lord, I'm telling you, watcher. We have folks that be having camera slips and accidentally show mold on the ceilings. We actually have people showing cockroaches in their food. It's just crazy, dog. So many different kind of camera slips. So many different kind of camera slips. Um, you know, people come up accidentally not realizing they camera on or accidentally turn it on because they try to mute themselves, and then the beef sector eat them up. The beef sector eat them up, child. Mm-hmm. And we talk about that camera slip for weeks on end. So JT had a dude that sent his D pic to someone, and it had a glass with false teeth. Oh, yeah, false teeth sitting in the bathroom counter next to the roof. Oh, damn. I don't mind. I don't blame you for lighting his ass up, but that's something that we supposed to do. When you catch some shit in a picture, you know what I'm saying, and you catch some fucked up shit. I mean, look at you know, the cockroach that ran across the screen that we've looked at. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to light people up for that shit. Yeah, I will say that with Lovely Love, I don't. Lovely Love is a very clean person, and so I don't believe that. I believe her story of when she said the neighbors sprayed and they came over, because that's the first time we've ever seen that with her. And as much as she's been on camera cooking and all this shit, we would have done so, like, if it was an infestation, more than that, right? So I do believe when Lovely Love stated that. You know, that was because of the neighbors. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that, because Lovely Love, if you, she's been on camera way too much. You know what I'm saying? And she does keep her house clean. And you can tell that Lovely Love is a neat freak, and that she has OCD. So yeah, I don't think that that would be a thing. Good morning, Miss Sislo, my beautiful. I give her that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like. That's one thing that I kept seeing people live roast in the chats talking about Ken is a pedo and all this stuff. I don't like that. I don't like putting that jacket on somebody's back without receipts. Don't put that jacket on somebody. I want receipts. I want cold hard facts that the person really is that. You know what I'm saying? Ken may be a lot of things. He may be a man whore, and he's a admitted man whore who cheats on his wife. He's a hoe. He knows he's a hoe. I'll say he's a hoe to his fucking face. He's a hoe. You know what I'm saying? But that I do not believe. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. He's a hoe. He'll talk all kind of shit, say all kind of fucked up shit. That does not make him that word, right? Now, I'm not saying that Ken don't say some fucked up shit sometimes, because he does, and he knows he does. Sometimes he goes too far. You know what I'm saying? But I would never put that jacket on his back. You know what I'm saying? Now, he'll go lower than low with his words sometimes, and sometimes he'll say off the wall shit. You know what I'm saying? Off the wall shit. He'll say some really messed up shit out of his mouth. That doesn't mean he's going around doing these things, right? That don't mean he's doing. There's a difference. He talks a lot of shit. Sometimes he be lying. when he be talking shit. Sometimes a lot of people do that. He be talking about he gonna do something he ain't never gonna do. You know what I mean? Hey, Miss Lips. I'm gonna say this. I got some of the hosts as some of my best friends. You know what I'm saying? And I need, I don't have a hoe card, never qualified because I chose not to be a hoe by choice. So I'm a monogamous hoe. You know what I'm saying? I've had 3 partners in my entire life by choice. I could have been a hoe. I had many interested that wanted me to be a hoe for them, but I chose not to be by my own recognizance because I chose not to. But I like to live vicariously through my hoe friends. So I love hoes. They my best friends. That is true, church lady. Ken will laugh about it too. He know he a hoe. I ain't saying nothing that he wouldn't say himself, and I ain't saying nothing that he wouldn't admit to himself. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Matty said he a hoe. See, that my bestie. I like hoes. Hoes is my friends. I like hoes in different area codes. What you talking about? They my besties. Yeah, Ken is very cool once you get to know him. Hey, Buster. Well, they was talking about some dude named Jeremy something another who had like false teeth and stuff by his, problems. You're not a hoe, you a whore. You should hear mother watch her one day. If I see mother doing a cleanup, you got to hear mother from our sector, which is James Caldwell, aka Spill It Boy, say whore. I love the way he says it, and how he calls in this the beefing sector. It's just the way he be saying shit sometimes. Yes, you're a selective hoe, Rico. You're a selective freak with only certain people. Now, now, me, myself, and I'm a hoe for my husband. There's a difference. I'm a monogamous hoe. So each one of my hoe phases was with a partner. So, I've had, and my husband now is my third. My body count is only 3. So each one of my hoes, I was in a relationship long term. 1 year, 3 year, and now 5 years. So, you know, all mine were monogamous. If it's to be 6 years, I'm a monogamous hoe. So I'm only a hoe for my husband. I'm a hoe for my husband. I'm gonna make that into a song. I'm gonna make that into a song, y'all. I'm a hoe for my husband. Yes, I'm a monogamous 304. Technically, you was a hoe. Now, but I will say you was semi selective hoe because my ex was a dirty hoe. There's different kind of hoes in this world. My ex was a dirty hoe. He don't even remember the names some of the people he slept with. He can't even remember their faces. He couldn't tell you. He just know he slept with somebody. He just a hoe. He slept with a mama and a daughter, and in the same day, he a ho ho ho. There are levels to your wholeness. That is right, Rico. You go, you gonna save? You almost got me choked on my coffee. Crazy washer. Um, you gonna save yourself to be an old hoe? I literally was just taking a big ass drink of of my drink. Hey, Harley MF Davidson. I don't know. We went from talking about Jesus to being a hoe child. Yup, gotta keep it tight and it right, baby. At least my shit ain't so wide you can park a car off in that bitch. I've heard of those hoes. I've heard of those hoes where you could hide a car in they shit. Yeah, Jesus loves hoes too. Look at Mary Magdalene. I mean, come on. See, Watcher, we were thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time and said it the exact same way. I know that probably made you laugh. We went from Jesus to hoes, child. Oh Lord, you got 10 little kittens outside your door. Oh Lord, your female cats was being hoes. They was being hoes in different area codes. They was like, look, mama, what we did. We was being hoes. Hey, that is true. That is true, Harley. And here's the thing: did y'all hear about on the Diddy trial, right? Where they were talking about she had sores inside her mouth from sucking too much dick. Like she had too much D put in her mouth. She had sores and her cootie cat, and she was getting UTIs, and they were still doing it, and like it was pain for her. Why? Uh-uh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. They all lucky they didn't get something. They all lucky they didn't get some Ajax. Don't rub off. And I pray to God that she got tested for STDs before this baby come. Because if in case, let's say she did get the herp or she got certain STDs, they can be transferred to babies. And babies can go blind from that shit. I hope and pray to God with her being 8 months pregnant that she got tested for those STDs and got cured before, because it could be very dangerous for baby. Well, yeah, we heard that Diddy gave Usher the herp and Usher gave it to others. I used to have a huge crush on Usher, and then I found out he had the herp, and that just killed it for me. It killed it for me. I can't, can't do it. It's gone now. It died. When I heard he had the herp, it was gone. Yeah, I know it's insane. Then she claimed it was all consensual. I'm like, Yeah, he let it burn. Usher let it burn, y'all. He been letting it burn. See, here's the thing. I had a huge crush. And his itty bitty Tootsie Roll. Yeah, I heard about the Tootsie Roll. And every time I hear about the Tootsie Roll, I think about, I'm going to let that Tootsie roll. And then look that Tootsie. I think of the song every time. I don't know why, but I do. Um, and maybe that's why he liked watching others do things, but because he had a little baby Tootsie Roll. I mean, I'm sorry, but when I heard, like, I had the hugest crush on Usher long a time ago, and then I heard about the herp, and I was like, woo, Jesus. Yeah, that crush gone. That crush gone. Cotton candy, sweet as gold. Let me see that Tootsie Roll to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right. Now dip, baby, dip, baby, dip. Let me see that Tootsie Roll. That was my jam back in the day too. So now every time I hear people talking about Diddy's Tootsie Roll, that song runs through my head. I know I can't be the only one. I can't be the only one that every time they hear the word Tootsie Roll, that song comes through your head. I know I can't be the only one. I can't. But with the situation with Diddy and everything, right? I'm like, y'all over here spreading STDs like candy. Y'all screwing around with each other, not wrapped. You ain't wrapping it before you tap it. And I was telling people, I forgot whose chat I was in that day. I think I was in Miss Intel's chat. I could have been somewhere else. I'm not sure. But they was talking about how people was screwing each other without condoms, all this stuff. So it was the lemon situation. They were talking about Vegas and all this other shit, right? And I said, here my thing. I gotta say to y'all, y'all better wrap it before you tap it. Y'all gonna wind up with some shit like in the Mo 3 sector, STD gate. STD gate. We're gonna have another STD gate, y'all. Y'all better be wrap it before you tap it. Please get your testing done and make sure you ain't got nothing so you ain't spreading it around. They're gonna end up getting some Ajax won't rub off. They gonna get some the Ajax won't rub off. They need to quit messing around with each other. Shit. And the first time I ever heard about honey packs, I didn't know what the hell honey packs was, and it was from Shakim. I said that in chat that day. I said that's the first time I ever heard about honey packs, and he was talking about going to, and he said it out of his mouth, going to the park. He was talking about going to the park. We know what he was doing. We know what was being alluded to. We not dumbasses. He was alluding to prostitution. We ain't stupid. This was before he came out over here as gay, which the Black T sector done said they done exposed his ass a long time ago, and his sector said that he came out and he said he was on PrEP, child. He admitted it, and he said over there, they rumored it over there in his sector that he has the 3 letters. Now I'm not putting that jacket on his back without test results. Test results, like I said, I don't put those jackets on people's backs, but it was alluded that. If y'all saw the chat, virtually, I don't know if that was him or a troll, but it was admitted in a chat. Okay. But child, I didn't even know what honey packs was. And if y'all don't know what honey packs is, look that shit up. Basically, honey packs is supposed to make men more ready to go. You know, it's kind of like a Viagra thing, but it's natural. Okay. I didn't know that shit. I didn't know that was a thing. Damn, not until Shakim came up with it. Yeah, I'm gonna say this: the minute that just the abuse aspect, Mr. Buster Diddy should be in jail for, but also the fact that you sitting here pimping out all these young hoes. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. I don't know if any of y'all straight men had ever heard of the honey packs before, but I didn't know about it till somebody brought it up in the beef sector. I was like, what the fuck is a damn? And he ain't from the beef sector, Shakim ain't. He from the Umar sector, but he brought it up, and I was like, what the hell are honey packs? What is this shit? And then I had to go Google it. Y'all know when I get curious, sometimes I be Googling. I've looked up some really weird shit before. I know the person who is my CIA, my CIA representative that checks me was like, this is a bitch crazy. Oh my God, he had pep talks with dudes who couldn't keep it up. You hadn't heard of it either, Rico? I knew I wasn't the only one that hadn't heard of what a damn honey pack was. I had to Google that shit, child. The part I found a little comical was when Cassie said if the dudes couldn't stay hard with her, that Diddy would have a pep talk with them. I imagine him going, "You can do it, buddy. You can do it, little buddy." Okay, let me help you out there. They say that if you take it's supposed to basically stimulate you and make you like, woo. But this right here, let me show y'all. I'm gonna present screen. I'm gonna present screen right quick. This is what, wait, not that one. Share this tab. Those are what they time at extra straight honey packs. You see these packs right here? Royal honey and stuff. It says college students are using honey packs for sex. Don't do it. The trend is using honey packs, a controversial supplement marketed for actual enhancement in TikTok with over 400,000 views. Um, Students at Arizona State. Let me read this to y'all because this is from USA Today, y'all. This is from USA Today. Um, Arizona State University snicker as they either tout having taken the supplement themselves or note it is used on campus. Hey man, a man never reveals his secrets, I can say, one college student says when asked if he has taken it before giggling and walking off camera. Doctors, however, are not laughing. The Food and Drug Administration has issued warnings about multiple honey pack brands citing hidden drug ingredients in the products. The big problem, doctors say, is that when you ingest a honey packet, you really don't know what's in it. Some of these products, they say, contain natural ingredients like maca and ginseng, which, though harmless, won't have much any impact on your sex life, say for placebo effect. Others, however, contain pharmaceutical ingredients like tafadol, the active ingredient in Cialis, a medication meant to treat erectile dysfunction. So that's why some of these dudes is getting harder because it's got fucking the blue pill in it. It's got it in it. But look it up. Those are actually the ones that I see people buying. These right here. These extra strengths and shit. But they're saying that some of these honey packs actually have Cialis and stuff in them. I had to look up. This is one of the videos I think I watched right here. That's it. That's the honey pack, the Royal Honey Pack. And it explains what it is and everything. So some of these honey packs actually have you know what I'm saying? Actual Cialis and shit like that in it. So just saying. Y'all. Mm-hmm. So she's sitting there saying that a lot of that was consensual, and so you think he might walk because of that. But they also said she felt like she didn't have a choice neither. So it was like she was forced. So it's like conflicting then at the same time. Harley Davidson. It's I would say then at that point it's 1 minute she's saying that the encounters were consensual, so it wasn't great, but she felt like she was forced into doing those things, or he would leave her, or blah blah this, blah blah that. You know what I'm saying? So whatnot, you know. But I didn't know what the hell this shit was until somebody brought it up, y'all. There you go, Sislo. Let me go ahead and stop this screen share. I just had to show y'all what that was because I didn't know what it was neither until somebody brought it up. But supposedly it's supposed to make a man more hard and all that. So I mean, here's the thing about Diddy and all the stuff that he be doing. I don't know if he gonna get away with this or not. Yeah, that's another thing. She said she wanted to make him happy and prove she loved him. If I have to sleep with multiple people to prove I love you, you don't love me. If you're making me go into a room doing things I don't like or I am not okay with and not great with, then you don't give a fuck about me and I don't need to be talking to you. Nah. Not you need a place to hang your towel. Mr. Buster's becoming a towel rack, y'all. Oh, I hear a ding. It's our beautiful. Let me make sure. Yes, it is. It is our beautiful sis Slow. Hey sis Slow, how you doing?
What up, though?
Yeah, I think. Do you
What?
think you gonna get away with this stuff?
I don't. Well, you know what? I'm going to say that, as far as I'm concerned, right now, the government hasn't made a racketeering sex trafficking case just yet. They're proving a Cassie case. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they probably, so far, anyways, I think they probably can get away with proving um better if they had done something like a class action situation against them for abuse and manipulation. It's kind of like the Nature Boy thing. I think they probably could have got more leeway that way as opposed to with the
Cassie's
racketeering and
already won a civil suit against him. In fact, she had to sign an
yes,
NDA.
right. But what I'm saying is that was a civil suit, and that was her personal civil suit for um whatever. But if had the they brought like something like sex trafficking charges again, and just say that there was a group of women that jumped in and said, hey, we were all, this was done to us, this type of thing, then maybe they could have proved it a little bit better as opposed to the racketeering part of it. Because with racketeering, you got to prove that money was being made, not just paid, but money was being made from what he was doing. So yeah, he was paying for these escapades and sexual favors and things like that, but was he making any money from, was he capitalizing from it? So that's the part that I don't know. But if it were like a Cassie case, or even a Dawn case, or some of the other people that were allegedly victimized by him, then I think they probably could have proved a sexual abuse type of situation against him more so than where they're going. But it's not over. We don't know, what other cats that the prosecution has out of the bag. Although, at the point of discovery, I'm pretty sure that the defense would have known what they had, and who they were calling, and all of that other kind of thing. What they had in the discovery, what type of evidence they had. Um, then they would have been able to prepare themselves against that. But as far as what's been revealed at this point, the baby oil, and uh the don't forget about the Cambodian breast milk that they were drinking for for enhancement and replenishing energy and all that kind of stuff, and the IVs and all that type of stuff that they were doing. Um, but if they would have, if they would charge it for stuff like that, I think would have been a little easier. I don't know.
Maybe we haven't heard that testimony yet. It is possible
Yeah,
because
that's what I feel. Oh my gosh.
oh no, I know that's exactly
Okay.
what you're saying. Um, so maybe right now they're just trying to say who was involved with what, like who's doing something with whoever, and but they do have to prove, like you
My,
said, like for the Rico thing, they do have to prove that there was not just him paying for things, but actual money being made off these situations. So until they can prove that, Rico charges are not as easy to prove as people think. In some instances, they are, but you have to, like drug trafficking, money laundering, embezzlement of funds. There's all different forms of racketeering. So they have to prove without a shadow of doubt that he was using his enterprise, his business, as a as a racketeering thing. They have to prove that he was trafficking drugs this way or he was money laundering. I think there could have really probably They probably don't have the evidence for it, but probably could have proven drug trafficking, money laundering, and all that, embezzlement, all different kind of things if they really, really wanted to. But they only came up with a few charges, and it's the prostitution thing. And so I think that unless they come out with a smoking gun that says that he was, like you said, like he was making money off of it, and other people were making money, and he was transferring funds to other people, not just paying for sex crimes, right? But actually, other people were also profiting. Um, that's not going to stick per se. Now, the prostitution across state lines, maybe, but were those people paying Cassie for her, or paying him for Cassie's time?
And just you gotta understand that it wasn't just Cassie. It was supposed to be all of these other people and these young women, and there were some young women where they said that items were inserted into their privates and glass broken off, and that they were like damaged for life. And there were some who were allegedly um, drugged and woke up in places they didn't even recognize, like thrown in Ubers or whatnot afterwards, and they were, you know, not only drugged out of their minds, but their careers were ruined after they were blacklisted after those situations happened. So it's like a whole bunch of people that that are that's coming, but we don't know how they're going to tie all of this in, like I said, to an enterprise. Does it prove that he's an ugly person? Of course. But does it prove Rico? Does it
I,
prove that
I
he had
think
a criminal enterprise? Does
I
it
think
prove that? That's the question. I'm
when you look
sorry.
at
Go ahead.
they're using Bad Boy Entertainment as the entity for all of this as far as the criminal enterprise goes, because Bad Boy Entertainment is what they were using the money through, and that's the entity that they're using to basically charge him with the RICO charges. And there is other co-defendants. They haven't been named yet, so it makes me wonder if what they're doing, he's not, I don't think that he's actually the top person. I think that he's probably more of a mid to low level person, and they're looking for somebody else, but they're going to make an example out of him. That's what I feel like, because the entity that they're saying is the criminal organization is going to end up being Bad Boy Entertainment. Oh, I didn't mean to pick her off.
Oh no, her internet does that
Oh,
sometimes. Hey, Watcher Love.
you're
Yeah,
good.
no, you can prove that Bad Boy was paying Cassie,
Hmm.
because obviously she was signed to that label. Um, you know
Well,
what I'm
and then
saying?
there was also like the quid pro quo. So basically, he was, telling her that, hey, if, by being with me and doing these things, this is what you get. Bam, 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 bam. But if you don't do the things that I want you to, it's going to get cut off,
Mm-hmm.
and me personally, I feel like when I listen to her testimony and stuff and the things that she has said, the text messages, the emails that they've read, um, I feel like she was someone with Stockholm syndrome, that basically was held captive to the point and controlled to the point where you're afraid to leave, and then you start identifying with that person, and you become compliant to their demands because you feel a sense of loyalty to them.
Yeah, I also you got to think about this too. She wanted a career, so if she so
Yeah,
much as said or did anything he didn't want her to do, where he basically owned the rights to her, because she signed that contract, he could totally kick her off of Hollywood. She wouldn't be able to make any music. She wouldn't be able to sign with anybody else.
yeah. So the other thing too is to stop and consider that there's a 17-year age difference between them.
She wasn't nothing but a kid herself when she started messing around with him.
Yeah, I think she was still underage when they met. I don't know that for sure. Um it says that she was 19 when they met, but mm, mm. I just for some reason I just think that she was probably a little bit younger than that. Even if let's just say though, let's just say I'm wrong. Let's say she was truly 19 years old when they met.
She
You
was young
know?
and naive. I will tell you that because when I was
Yeah.
19, I was the same way. And that's how I got with my ex. He was older than me. He was 21. I had one boyfriend before him, just one. And I didn't understand those things. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I mean, he
Hey,
was
Sis Flo, welcome back.
he was 55 and she was 38 when they split up and went their separate ways. You
And you know he
know?
was cheating on Miss Kim the whole way through. We all know that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think that he loved Kim the way that he wants to portray that he did. I think it was the same situation with her.
It was. I think theirs was a convenience, and I do believe that he did something to that lady. I'm sorry. I don't think that she passed away of natural means.
Uh-uh.
I
I
think he
don't.
had somebody sign off on it. Paid somebody, and I hope whoever that doctor is that he paid. I know there's a such thing as doctor-patient confidentiality, but that would be towards Kim, not him. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that person would come forward, but then they would have to admit their wrongs. You know what I'm saying? And possibly face charges. But that's super sad to think that that lady passed away. And I'm telling y'all, I think he did something to that lady because she was fixing to leave him and
So
spread some stuff.
there was something that came out yesterday that said something about she had fecal matter in her bloodstream at the
Mm.
autopsy. Yeah. So I'm like, and look, we know he wasn't above paying people to do dirty stuff for him.
Hey, Miss Heidi, we talking about the Diddy situation. Good morning, Miss Heidi. Mm.
So I think
Hey y'all, I'm sorry I got
oh,
booted
no,
out.
welcome back. I was like, I hope I didn't make her mad and kick her off. Charlie said, no, her internet does that.
Oh no, my phone, my somebody called and I forgot to
Oh,
put my phone on do not disturb and it booted me out. I'm sorry.
no,
No,
you're
what
good.
you can't make me mad. I don't get mad like that, boo.
Well, you never know with people on the
Mm-mm.
YouTubes, you know.
Well, you make me mad. I mess around, start praying for you.
Oh, girl, look, let me make you mad real quick. I need all the prayers. I'm just saying. I don't. I really don't.
No, just kidding.
I don't take pleasure in making people I just met mad. Now, once I get to know you a little bit, I'll pick at you and see where my boundaries are. But I'm just playing. I'm really
I'm
a nice
good, bro.
person most of the time.
I can take a joke. I mean, I can. I'm good,
Right on. I love it.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Go
think
ahead.
they're going to also pull in. Okay, so you know the Trump hotel shooter guy, the Odie, whatever his name is, the sex worker guy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I think he's going to end up coming into play somewhere also. And that's the other problem is transporting these people over state lines and paying them to do sex work.
Oh, they're gonna get him for the prostitution charge, 100%.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
people are debating about the RICO charge itself.
right,
But
right.
yeah, Jonathan Odie. A lot of people are. Oh yeah, he's going down for the prostitution charge. It's been proven that he's
Yeah, but
paid people.
you saw what I was putting in chat about what it takes to prove RICO. And really and truly, it's not. I'm not sure what people are getting hung up on, that they're not going to be able to prove RICO in this, because they absolutely will be able to. Absolutely. Because the entity,
Mm,
the organization is going to end up being Bad Boy, because that's the money making and paying entity.
well, Bad Boy is making money, but it has to prove beyond that it is making money. It has to prove that was Bad Boy was gaining money by sex trafficking or something like that. Now, I'm not saying that he won't be found guilty of sex trafficking or prostitution or whatever the case may be, which is just sex trafficking is just a dressed up way of saying prostitution, basically.
Yeah.
But I think that they will find him guilty of some of the charges, but I think I'm curious as to where the RICO charge is going to
So,
stay. It doesn't mean like you can be found guilty of lesser charges, like
right.
something like instead of first degree murder, something less than murder or second degree murder, um, or justifiable homicide or something like that. There's other ways that you can be found guilty of killing somebody, but not necessarily premeditating it or studying on it or that type of thing. You can still get first degree murder for planning it, but
Yeah.
not actually being that actual one to carry it. So I'm just saying that there are different avenues to take for conviction, but not maybe necessarily the conviction that they started for. I
So
think it's
Heidi,
a good thing to start big
mhm,
and end with something rather than to not just cover the whole.
right. Yeah, Heidi said
Retrospect.
on CNN, they're saying they have Rico, and Cassie made a deal that she was part of the enterprise and a victim after she no longer wanted to participate. So that's how they're going to tie it together.
So how is she going to be a part of it or whatever unless she claimed immunity?
Well, no, she was a part of the enterprise, which was Bad Boy. She got her
Exactly.
record deal, and that's what he lorded over
Exactly.
her
What I'm
head.
saying is, how is she? How did she? How did they get her testimony? Did they get because if you are a part of it, just like anybody else that's a part of Bad Boy, you can be convicted as well because you were an accessory.
Well,
She
no,
made a
So
she
did
deal.
she
became the
get
victim.
immunity? Did she
No,
get exactly? Did she get immunity?
no, she became the victim because she chose no longer to participate and wanted out, and that
But
is
she
where she
once
ended up convicted.
participated. She once partic. Okay, it's the same as what we are talking about the murder. Just as I said, look, let me out the car. I don't want to go no more. But
Right.
I still know you're going to commit a crime. I'm still accessory after the fact, or it's accessory before the fact, actually, because I knew and didn't tell. So I can still get the same time as everybody else. So what I'm saying to her, unless she made a deal for immunity,
That's what
if
Heidi
that's the
said. She made
case,
a deal. Yeah, Heidi said she
yeah,
made it.
yeah, she has to because she can still be a part of that. Just because she said, "Oh, I ain't gonna do it no more,"
Yeah.
she's still just as guilty. So that does mean that at one point in time, that she was also a willing participant
Participant.
in what they were doing. Which, if his defense attorney could light enough fire under that, especially in the closing arguments, put enough doubt in her testimony that it is, you know, that she was a credible witness or
Well,
not.
I think that
You
that's
know,
that my thing though is I think that that's why she did the civil suit first. because
Oh,
I mean,
she
she
did
sued.
the civil suit because she wanted to get some money before he got convicted. And then not only that, she wanted to get something out of this deal before he went down. Because think about it. After the lawsuit and then the videos, all that is when he started losing all of his branding. That's when he started losing all of his endorsements, all with the Revolt, the Deleon, and they started taking Sean Combs, all of the clothes off the racks. They started and anything that had any affiliation with him was taken out of the stores, taken off the websites. He lost billions, like because of that. So she got her money before the fact because she knew that a train wreck was coming. So she got her some financial something to gain financially out of that. But he didn't know that they was creeping up on that Rico.
So do
You
you
understand
think
what I'm
that?
saying?
Well, so do you think that? So do you think that prior to her filing the lawsuit, there was already word going around? Because
Yes.
my understanding
Yes.
is that the only reason all of this came about was because New York had said that they were going to extend the statute of limitations for people that had been sexually abused or whatever, victims of sexual abuse. And so she only had like a small window of time to be able to file before it was too late. And that's when she went ahead and filed. And then from
Right.
that is when they started investigating and moved forward with the RICO charges.
But she filed a civil, not a criminal.
Right.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
First. Yeah.
She
First.
wanted some moolah, baby, and she
Well,
wanted to get it before he got cut. Because he was a multi-billionaire. He no longer has the billions that he used
right.
to have because that's why he had to sell his plane and everything else because he knew this was going to be his lawyers is costing him a fortune. Those
Right.
lawyers are not cheap.
No,
So
I
it's like not
understand
only
that.
not and then he's still maintaining the lifestyles of his children and his mom, which is why he started transferring money to Christian and to his mother and all this that and the other. But the point and he got revolt out of his name and
Uh,
said that he sold it, but he's still a private partner, I'm pretty sure.
yeah. See,
But
Heidi, that's what I
he
thought.
started to liquidate. Started to liquidate his assets because this train wreck was coming, but she knew it because she had already been in talks with the feds. I'm pretty sure of that.
So
They
Heidi
were already
says,
pulling this case together.
yeah, Heidi says that
Okay.
she offered him the rights to her book years earlier for 30 million and he refused. So then she filed the lawsuit. And then the civil suit is what got the criminal investigation really hyped up and rolling. So,
Right. She offered him the rights to her book for what? 30 million. So she was still, my point is that she was trying to gain financially from the situation. She might not, if the statute of limitation for the criminal part of it might have been gone. It might have been over. I don't know because I don't recall the dates. But as far as civil, the reason why she came in, she wanted money because her career had been affected. She was basically going upon what she could have made had he
yeah.
not held her back. So she could have made 30 million. She could have been worth 20 million or whatever. And so could a lot of his other artists. But the thing of it is she wanted to get financial stability out of this situation so that she and her family wouldn't have to worry about anything before the proverbial mess hit the fan. Because
Yeah.
once that happened, he wasn't gonna have nothing left.
Yeah. Heidi,
The
I
kid, the
understand.
twins aren't even going. The twins aren't even going to college. They're going straight into business. And you know
Yeah.
why they're doing that?
And one of
And
the
they got
boys
this.
is
Go
also
ahead.
well, one I know that one of his sons is also in some legal trouble about some grape situation that
Christian,
happened. Yeah, on the boat.
Christian and Justin.
Yeah,
They both got some sexual allegations against them.
yeah.
Christian and Justin.
And church
But
lady Ivy
Christian,
groomed the shit out of her and offered her all these pipe dreams and then turned her into a sex slave. I'm with you, church lady.
yeah.
Me either. I've been hearing these rumblings about him for almost 20 years.
Well, yeah, I know though
Yeah.
everybody in Hollywood's been has
He
said about
groomed
Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
he groomed all of those kids.
Oh
He
yeah.
groomed all of them. He groomed
Danity
Justin.
Kane.
That's why. And do you let me tell you something? Do you notice that just about everybody, anybody that had any dealings with him as a child star, didn't start getting successful until they got from under him, or when they left him, some type of trauma happened.
Yep.
Either they left him with the God, they lost their minds, they
Mm-hmm.
ended up locked up, they ended up dead, or I mean, all kind. Danny Boy can sing his tail off.
Yeah.
Sammy, um, Usher, Justin went crazy for a
Oh
minute.
yeah.
He had to go to God to get himself together. And there's so many young people that were, and the young boy. Okay, I'm gonna remind you all of something. Making a band
Yeah.
with Day 26.
Yeah.
That's the one of the talented male groups. I know those boys
Mm-hmm.
are bad. He was doing. He was messing with Q's mind while they were in that group.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes, he
with
was.
Q, remember Q kept having mental breakdowns
Uh-huh.
on the show. And it was because of the things they were not showing on tape. But not
Right.
only that, he knew that Q and Dawn were in a relationship.
Mm,
And he sat there in front of that boy and took his woman and
yeah.
made her do these insatiable things
Yep.
and to interrupt their relationship. And then when she was like, she can't deal with him, she really tried to stick with him through those emotional problems for a while. But he
Yeah.
couldn't talk because he had that NDA. But you go back and you see Chingy and all the rest of them,
Mhm.
they're telling it all.
Yep.
They're telling it all.
And that's
And it's
Aubrey
like
O'Day. She was the making the band with Danity Kane. He did some shit
he
to
made
them chicks.
he made them all look like whores.
Yep.
Even little Kim, that's why she got messed up. Why you think she's so messed up?
Yep. His daddy
Why
was a
you think
drug
her
dealer.
little Kim was much smaller, much more petite? She didn't start. The first horse looking outfit with her boobs and stuff out. He bought her to wear on the show. He made her wear it.
Yeah. Oh, see,
Her
I
first
believe
horse looking outfit. And then
I
she started doing all these adjustments to her body. Why? You ain't cute. You ain't this. You ain't that. So she started trying to change herself. She don't even look recognizable from who she was born to be.
she
Or who she
sure
was
does.
born as, I should say. She
Yeah.
looks nothing like it. So it's like everybody, Faith got away from them.
Mm-hmm.
But Faith didn't really start blowing up until she wasn't Bad Boy anymore.
Well, and look at J Lo.
Oh, well,
You know,
see, you know what?
she's a dirty broad.
J
She
Lo
can
had
be real
people
slick.
around her because she would cut from a different club, but she was with the foolery for a minute. Though I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say, around the
Mm-hmm.
way, Jay, she was with the foolery for a minute. But they almost caught that case,
And she got up out of there.
she got up out of there then
She
because her
said, "You can take
handlers
the
were like,
rocks that I got.
you
I'm no longer Jenny
no,
from the
her
block."
handlers was like, huh?
I said, I was singing her song, "You Can Take the Rocks That I Got. I'm no longer Jenny from the block." After the shooting case, She was up out of there. She was like, peace.
She was out of there. And she dropped that Jenny from the block, that hip hop image. And
Hmm.
she went pop star. She went Selena. She went
Oh
Mega.
yeah,
Then she
and she
became
married
this actress,
her
and
Latin brother.
yeah, she started going up. Yeah, she had her babies by him.
Hmm.
And then it's like, but then she started getting in other relationships and with the
So
baseball player and
has anybody heard what's going on with Young Miami these days? Where is she at? Is she still doing her talk
laying
show and
low and
stuff?
staying out the way. She laying low and staying out the way.
Okay.
And she
And I
better. Because they were saying she was a mule.
yeah, yeah. And what's the one guy that was with was it Cardi B that he was with? Um oh, what's his name? I can see it. He was in the pool. Uh,
Offset. Offset.
no, not Offset. Oh, he was the one in the pool, the big tall guy. He had the cornrows. And Diddy walks up and he's got the camera on him. He's like, yeah, do it for me, daddy. Do it for me.
Oh, you
See,
you talking about not Cardi B, you mean Nicki Minaj. You talking
yeah,
about
Nicki Minaj.
you talking about me. You talking
Yeah,
about
Meek
me.
Mill.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, Meek Mill. That's it. I wonder where he
Girl, but
went.
did you hear what they did to him? Did you hear that video?
Oh yeah, I sure did.
The way
And I'm
they
like,
had that little boy screaming in that room?
yeah. What my thing is, if Diddy had a micropene the size of a tootsie roll, how was he knocking it out and making homeboy scream like
They
that?
were pegging. They were pegging. He was
Oh,
buying toys. They were doing all kind of stuff. They were doing all kind of stuff. He was
Lord.
pegging and everything. They
Wow.
used beads, everything. They used all kind of. They said that he bought his kids gift bags with all that freaky stuff in it.
Shut up. I
Yes, and they were like he shopped at the same shop as Taylor Swift because that's where
mm-mm.
she get a lot of her kinky looking out. And she a freak too now.
Now
Listen,
she a little antichrist. She a little Satan. I can't stand no Taylor Swift.
Satanist,
Yep.
Satanist,
Yep. For real. And I think a lot
new
of those
age.
I mean, I know some people get really upset when you talk about Queen Bey, but I mean she's another one, her and Jay-Z. Lord
They
have
all
mercy.
mixed up in it too. You notice why they trying to be low, quiet, whatever they are. They got their
Hmm.
own situations that they're trying to handle though.
Oh
The
yeah.
thing about it is that combined,
Hmm.
they got more secure money than a lot of other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They got a lot more money. But my thing is with Jay Z is what's up with not claiming your children, your obvious
Right.
children.
No shit.
Especially that girl. That girl, ooh, and he
No.
know that's his kid. Like the 23andMe came back that she was related, but
Uh-huh.
and her mom, I don't know, her mother eventually passed, but she ended up having like MS or something like that,
Hmm.
and she was really really sick. But everybody around the way was like he was coming to see her every day, like. He was hanging at the house. Him and her cousin were besties.
Yeah.
And they
Well,
were
and
saying that this
I
go ahead.
wonder, is it true that Blue Ivy's mama is that Kathy White, or I think that was her name, Kathy White. Um,
Man,
and not
that little girl look just like Beyonce. I'm just saying, she look just like Beyonce.
see, I
Them
don't think
kids
so.
look like Beyonce. I
Uh,
do. You
the
put them
the
next to each other.
the two
She
younger
just
ones.
got full lips like her. She got yeah. I think Blue Ivy. She got full lips just like her dad, but she looks just like her mother.
Now, have
Especially
you
if you see the pictures when her mom was younger.
seen the picture
I'm
of Kathy
sorry.
White? Have you seen the picture of Kathy White that's allegedly Blue Ivy's mom? And heard that
I've
story?
seen it, but listen, you remember Teresa Graves, the the black
Ye-
actress Teresa
Yes,
Graves.
yes, yes.
Now you know they're trying to say that that's Whitney Houston's mother too.
What?
I'm just saying. All black people don't look alike.
No,
We favor some of us, but we don't.
well, I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying? And some of us
when
may
you
look
get to
alike.
the white
One thing for
people,
sure, we all got twins. We all have doppelgangers.
yeah.
But that girl, I really believe that woman had that baby. I just don't see no sense in that. Why would she have not have one and then turn around and have two? I don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
The only
I do
reason that I think
believe
there's
she's protected.
Yeah, the only reason
Go
I
ahead.
think there's any truth to it is when she went on that one talk show when she was supposedly pregnant. She goes to sit down and you see her belly fold up like it's one of those fake pregnancy belly things that goes on under your dress and stuff. That's some bitch folded up like no
Mm.
business.
Girl, what is she had on a girdle or something?
And
And you know how that girl go to roll, the girdles roll down a little bit and give you two belly. I mean, it's
no,
come on,
no, no.
it's just reaching a little
I don't
unrealistically
know.
far for me.
And
I
then that
mean,
Cassie chick was found.
I don't understand why would she go so far to, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like she really enjoyed being pregnant and all that. I just don't understand that. Why and then turn around and have twins? Why would she not have a single birth and then turn right back around and have? I believe that's her kid. I mean, they identical body build. I mean, they just I don't know. But people, the good thing about the internet
It can be
is
used
that
for anything to support
you
what
can
you
do
think.
anything with AI, with all of this. That's a good and a bad. So I mean, I believe a little bit of what I see, but I always got to do a little research before I go too far and use a little common sense, you know. But I just don't understand it. What's so big and bad about her having a baby? What's so big and bad about her not wanting to carry a baby? If
Well,
that's
there's nothing
what
wrong
she
with
got the
that.
money to do, right?
The whole
Courtney
point.
B. Vance and Courtney B. Vance and my girl did it, Angela Bassett. They a surrogate carried their twin,
I don't find
but
that to
it's
be a
like I
problem.
mean,
What I find to be the problem is that the woman he was actually with when Beyonce came on the scene was found dead under suspicious circumstances. And it's alleged that she had told him that she was pregnant. And all of a sudden, Beyonce pop up pregnant. So
I still, I mean, tomatoes. I'm not, and I mean, it's a good conversation, but it just, yeah, you know, I mean, something they could have had something to do with it, but her demise, but maybe that's why
yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
that's why she's no longer here because we ain't gonna be pregnant at the same time. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Oh, not you gonna take a bite shot kind of
Yeah.
thing, and maybe if that was something to happen, I could see it being something like that, but not
Yeah.
her. Because I mean, first of all, the last thing I want is your seed if I don't care for you. I don't want your seed. If I
Mm,
don't want to be bothered with you and I don't want you to be here no more, I don't want your baby either.
but it was
If I'm that type of person.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. The people do crazy shit. I mean, look at Cassie. I wouldn't have let no dude piss in my mouth because I was in love with some other dude that wanted to watch it. I'd be like, oh hell no. No, no, no. But I
Listen,
mean, women
child.
do women do crazy shit sometimes. Men do too, but I mean, women will do crazy shit in the name of love. I don't know. I just think it's interesting that, with Beyonce and Jay-Z, they do not respond to stuff publicly. Like, I know for years, like they kept their relationship on the down low. They didn't respond to rumors about their
Mhm.
relationship, nothing. Like, you don't really hear them respond to things. They just ignore it and move on. And I think that that's one of the things that's kept them so protected is the fact that they
Yeah, because
don't.
it'll pass.
So yeah,
It'll pass. If you just let it go, it fizzles out. But it depends on what type of situation it is, though.
yeah.
But
But I
you'll be the butt of everybody's jokes for a few weeks or
right.
whatever. But it fizzles out and life goes on. But when you start really feeding into it, kind of like thing, it's like yeah, then people start, oh, you must be guilty type of thing. But I don't know. But Charlie, listen, I've been talking, running my mouth. I ain't mean to take over.
I
Hey
know
y'all,
I
hey in the comments.
You good? You good?
Hey y'all, hey in Charlie's comments, not sis love. And I'm just on here. Listen, I have no life. And I came on here because they was talking about 304s. And I walked right into that conversation. I was like, what the heck? That's
Yeah,
my
girl, you
grown
missed.
but
We was
walking
talking
through.
about Jesus, and then Ho came up, and now we talking about Diddy and Mohoing, and
right.
Beyonce may or may not be Blue Ivy's mama. It
Look,
done went
I'm
all
gonna
over the
drop.
place.
Look, I'm fixing to drop down, and I'm gonna go whole on this breakfast taco. So,
Ooh, girl.
thank you for letting me up,
Oh, you
Charlie.
don't have listen, don't leave.
Oh no,
Don't
I'm gonna
leave
be in
because of
chat.
me.
No, 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 no. I'm gonna be in chat. I'm fixing to eat me some breakfast, and then we've got. I live in Texas, so we're executing someone tonight, and
They do
so I'm
everything
actually.
bigger than that. Oh, y'all lights, your lights gonna get dim tonight.
Nope, they don't do that. They don't do it that way.
You're like,
Um,
that's what we called it. I'm from Indiana.
okay,
Indiana. I'm from where Indiana State Prison is, right in Michigan City, and that's what we used to say. We used to say when they execute somebody, they
dim the light.
execute it, so the lights gonna get dim. The lights gonna get dim tonight, type
But
of
yeah,
thing. It's
I went
just
down there, and they have the Texas Prison Museum not far from where the unit is that they put them to death. And so I'm going to go there and try to live stream that. And then I'm going to go to the prison and because they usually have like different groups and stuff like that out there protesting or
mm,
whatever. So I'm going to go out there
can I
and
ask you a
live stream
question?
that. Mhm.
Can I ask you a question before you go? If Charlie doesn't mind, it's a
Oh,
a
go ahead.
little it's a little detour from the conversation, but could you be the one to do the injection?
Yes, ma'am.
You could.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. It takes a special person.
Yeah, I used to work
Eh,
for
eh,
CJ as a correctional officer. And I had
okay.
a show last night where I talked about this. And even though I'm a proponent of the death penalty, I think that
Mhm.
there are way more. There's things that should be done before someone is actually put to death. They should exhaust all of their abilities to retest DNA up until the point of death because that's been one of the contributing factors that has proved that there are innocent people on death row. So I
Mhm.
think we really need to tighten that up, especially when the evidence can leave any a speck of doubt that that person is guilty.
Mhm.
But there are other instances like the guy tonight. His innocence was never in question. He admitted to the crime. He doused a woman. He went into a convenience store a little after 7 o'clock in the morning. She was a 76-year-old lady. He poured lighter fluid on her. He robbed her of some cigarettes and a few bucks and some change and some candy. And he struck a lighter and lit her on fire and walked out calmly.
And that was what you call a senseless, petty
Yeah.
crime
And yeah.
that
And so
turned into something traumatic.
right. And so she actually lived for 5 days and then she succumbed to infection from the burns because she had fourth degree burns over 40% of her, or third degree burns. No, maybe it was fourth, over 40% of her body. So in that situation, I would absolutely have no problem administering the lethal dose. No problem whatsoever. in a situation where, let's say, you have multiple co-defendants, and there's a question of who talked first, what does the evidence say, and if there's any doubt that the person that's sentenced to death and the others aren't sentenced to death, then I think those cases should be reviewed with a lot more scrutiny.
So,
Because
so let me ask you ask another question then.
yes, ma'am.
You made a comment that if in a certain case that you would definitely not have a problem. So does that mean that if another case does not affect you emotionally and you don't feel a connection with that particular case, could you still do it if you felt a person may have had a great chance to have been innocent? Could you still do it?
Probably not.
Or only if you felt okay? So
If
you're
I
not
felt,
the woman for the job. You're not
yeah,
the woman for the job. It's more or less you gotta feel like they have to deserve it in order for you to be able to. Yeah, do it if he deserves it. But I'm
right,
talking about could you be that person that that
that regardless of the situation,
isolation like that turns off your emotions, turns off your
no,
feelings, and just goes in there and like switching on a light switch doesn't like okay this is just work and I
no,
gotta do this is what they pay me to do. Let me just go ahead and do this because let me hurry up and turn these lights off real fast and
uh-uh.
zip and let them go to heaven and be this maker.
No, there was a time in my life I probably could when I was younger. But when
Mm.
I became a Christian, that all changed. It all
Yeah.
changed.
So that's what I
And
mean by it takes a special individual to be able to do something like that because not everybody could be the executor. They couldn't be
right,
that one. I forgot the name of it that they call the person that actually
the
does the
executioner.
injections and the
Yeah.
executioner.
So no, I
So
if
yeah,
I felt in my heart that somebody was innocent, there's no way I could do it. No way.
yeah.
I would
Okay,
rather not
that
go
was
to
just a
hell.
question.
Yeah.
Just I wonder. I wonder if Charlie would be willing to take a poll in the chat and see how many people could be that one, the executioner.
I'll put that in
Okay.
the chat right
That
quick.
would
I'll
just
do
be
that poll.
Yeah, that's an interesting
that'd be
question.
interesting.
That's a really good question right there. Of and I would be interested to see of those that said yes, do they think that every case that someone is sentenced to death, they should be put to death?
Hmm.
I
There's
mean,
so much that centers that I've seen people put to death that I really don't think should have died. Like I really don't
yes,
think that was worth, you know. And
right.
I've seen people sentenced to life that I didn't think should have been sentenced to life. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Or there have been some people that were absolutely guilty of something, but I just felt like they, were not guilty of that.
Mhm.
You guilty, all right. And your butt need to be in jail for a lifetime, but not for that, for this.
Yeah.
Like for instance, uh uh a child molester going to prison for robbing a bank. I mean, yeah, you robbed that bank. But should have been locked up for messing with somebody's child a long time ago. That type of thing.
Yeah. And I will say that I was really surprised when I started looking at, because in Texas, when you go out to their death row site on the Texas Department of Criminal Justice website, they break down statistically, like the state of Texas has executed more white men than any other race.
Wow.
Yeah. African American comes in second, or black. Hispanic is third, and then other. That's anything other than those three races. And there's only been a handful of others. There's not been a whole lot, which kind of I would have thought that we would have executed more Hispanics than blacks in the state of Texas. But to hear society talk, you would have thought that we would have executed more blacks than any other race. And I was actually kind of shocked to know that, because you just think that you hear it so much that, and there is, there is, I would say, probably a larger population of blacks that are incarcerated. But when you look at it compared to what the actual overall population in the United States or in the state of Texas is, it's not as big a discrepancy as you would think.
Yeah,
So,
I put the poll up. So if you think you could be the executioner, you could vote now. If you think you can't be the executioner, you can vote now. Let me add Sislo back to the stage.
and if I had to pick, like if I were sitting there and going, okay, um, what method, um, see, I guess I would pick no, that I couldn't be, in all circumstances. But anyways, sorry, I was voting on your poll. I was playing with your poll, girl.
You was playing with my pole and touching all my buttons. It was so
Yeah.
good.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I just, when I started looking at the statistics on, just for Texas, I was really surprised because, we have a huge Hispanic population in Texas, huge, and I think that it'll be, if um, white people are not the minority, it won't be long before we are in the state of Texas. Just because we're right there at the border, it's so easy for them to, come across and assimilate. So, um, Smoke, quit messing with that boy.
Cute puppy.
I think he got either bit or stung by something. I need to call this vet and get him out. So he keeps licking the spot on his leg. Oh,
You can use Benadryl if you think that he has an allergic reaction. Look up. You have to use the
oh yeah, I've got it.
specific kind. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think that that's it. I mean, it's got he's like gnawing on it. So it's almost like it's, and he keeps licking it over and over. And so he's getting like a lick granuloma
Yeah.
spot. And, um, he's had some issues. Like, he had a reaction to his vaccines, his first round of puppy shots.
Yeah.
He had a really bad allergic reaction. And so he just has sensitive skin. And I don't know, um, like I said, if something got, if a spider or something got him, or if he's having an issue, but I'm going to have to call and get him an appointment because I don't like the way it's looking. But sorry. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Buster totally bought his ranch by showing me a picture of him flexing. He totally did.
That's too funny. Too funny. But yeah, I'm fixing to go and, like I said, get this breakfast taco and eat so I can get motivated to do something today.
Eat that good food, girl. And I did catch your replay last night because you went later than you thought, and I
Yes.
fell asleep on you, so I had to catch the replay this morning.
Thank you. Yeah, a little bit different. So it was nice doing something different, and not worrying about all that other BS. But
Yeah, drama for your mama.
I know, girl. I know that's what, save the drama for your llama. But I love you long time. And Miss Sithlow, it was nice meeting you. I hope to see you again soon. And I will be down in chat.
Huggies.
Laters.
But yeah, with the Diddy situation, this is going to unfold, in my opinion, a lot more as time progresses. Because they say this trial is supposed to last for like how many weeks? and they have how many people coming out of the woodwork, and they're claiming that Usher's supposed to come out and all these other people. So and they're keeping the list also private until the person comes up because of possible, intimidation and all different other kind of things. So they're not even like releasing the list of people who are going to be coming up to the public. I don't even know if the defense knows who each one is right away because of intimidation possibility. I don't know if y'all have heard anything on that. I'm not sure. Okay, Huggies. I know how sound is sometimes. Love you on purpose, sis low. We're gonna end the poll right quick, and we're gonna see who could be what and who could be not. So in the poll, it says 50% says yes and 50% says no. And there was 16 votes on the poll of who could be executioner and who couldn't. Now, me, myself, and I, it would be a hard choice because here's the thing. If I knew they did something very terrible, then yes, there's a possibility. But y'all, Indiana went through with a death row inmate as of this morning. We're supposed to have one on June the, I think it was June the. We have had a death row inmate on death row we have Richard Jordan, 78, is scheduled to be executed June 25th. And he's been the longest serving death row inmate. And he has filed new motions Thursday before the Mississippi Supreme Court. The move comes 2 weeks after the court set the execution date for him. So he is bringing up, and that's down near Biloxi, Mississippi. He is actually one of the longest tenured death row inmates. In Mississippi, so his execution is set for June 25th. They did put in some new, he did put in some stuff for, I guess, to redo, but he was put on death row in 1976. Hey, Mr. Rubin. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Ruber. So, they have the one in Indiana, Watcher 2, and then Mississippi has had one that has been on death row since 1976, and they finally set his execution date as June 25th of this year. He has put obviously some things in. Yeah, that the death penalty was reinstated in the U.S. in 1976. I will say this: I believe that with the death penalty, I want to know that the person is actually guilty, and they've done some heinous crime that they can't be, reinstated in society. They can't possibly change who they are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, taking a life is a hard one. Even if I had to do it to protect my family, it would still bother me in a way, if that makes sense. But I do what I have to do, even though it would bother me. It's like, I know that's why so many soldiers, and I speak about this often because I do really love our veterans. I know that so many soldiers, that's why they have PTSD and stuff, because you got to think, they have to, when you take a life, you take their death upon you, right? And even people who are in prison right now for murder, they have to live with every person they've taken out of this world. I don't have that switch to turn off my humanity. And I have heard this, from people who have taken lives, that once they take a life and the more lives they take, the easier it becomes. That's what a lot of serial killers have said after the first time, right? Me, myself, and I don't have that where I could cut that off. It would really bother me. If I had went into being what I wanted to be, which was a Marine, I wanted to be a special ops Marine. I probably would have came back with PTSD and different things and mental conditions because of it. Could I do it? Yes. Would I want to do it? No. There's a difference. You could do it if you have to do it. That doesn't mean you want to do it. There's a big difference between the two. Um, you know, that is also true. That is also true, Miss Watcher. A person who receives life in prison has got to be able to not take the life of other inmates and staff while locked up. So it also does, it has a lot of, contributing factors, a lot of different factors on whether or not a person deserves one way or the other. I know it's the same way with me, Watcher. When I was younger, I probably would have been way more brutal than I am now that I'm older. Um, I think it comes with maturity, wisdom, and different things. When we're younger, we're a lot more impulsive, a lot more, um, you know, like we calm down in our older years, and we're more critical thinking, logical thinking in our older years than versus when we're younger, right? I think that also has a play in it. Because think about it. When you were young, somebody could set you off the wrong way and you was ready to fight. You was ready to. I'm not saying you won't do that now, but you're more now tend to think about things logically. Is this worth it? Is this worth going to jail over? Is this worth this? Is this worth that? Yet when you were in your 20s, you didn't think about the consequences of any of your actions in your 20s. In your 30s, you start thinking about consequences. In your 40s, even so much so, you're thinking logical more the older you get. I believe that is part of maturing. In Texas, proving a case for the death penalty requires the prosecution to demonstrate that the defendant committed a capital murder and that the jury answers yes to two special issues. One, a probability that the defendant would commit criminal acts of violence that would constitute a continuing threat to society, and whether, taking into consideration all the evidence, there is a probability that the defendant would commit criminal acts of violence that would constitute a continuing threat to society. Per se, that's what happened with the doctor, the the death row inmate from Indiana. He made a stupid decision when he was 19. See, that's another thing. Hey, VV, that's my sister. How you doing, love? My sister from another mister, my VV. Yeah, in Mississippi, capital murder charges, and stuff like that, you have to do something really heinous. Murder of a police officer, firemen in the line of duty, certain, it's a big step from regular charges to a death penalty also. And for the death penalty to be put on the table, there's a lot that goes into that, because most people who get charged here with that, they get life without the possibility, or even sometimes with the possibility. But in order for it to go to death penalty status, you had to have done something extremely severe. You're not going to just get the death penalty for, like you had to do something real bad. Hit me up on Discord, Miss VV. You got me on there, girl. You know you got me on there. Right now, I will say that I'm fixing to end. Oh, my VV's coming up. Hold on. My VV's coming up. Okay. Hey, VV.
Hey, boo. How are
Uh-oh, you're cutting in and out, VV. Oh, there you are.
you? Oh, okay. I said, hey, boo. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Today, I got to take my son to his specialist appointment for
Mm-hmm.
his liver enzymes came back a little elevated.
Oh, bless it. I'm sorry. I hope everything comes out all right. Look, I am putting something in the back chat. I did message you on Discord yesterday.
I'll check Discord. I wouldn't put it in the back chat because people have been popping in the back chat if something's private. Because
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't want nobody getting your stuff. Is what I'm saying. Some I got a troll after me, and I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
bothering you. So I'm gonna check my Discord. That way
Okay.
it's more
Okay. Okay. Okay.
secure. You feel
Yes,
me?
because I need to talk to you ASAP. It's not about nothing about YouTube. This is something personal.
Okay,
It's
I
it's
got you,
more
girl.
personal. Yeah, yeah. It's good news too.
Oh, I sitting there reading it right now.
Yes.
Girl, if it is, I'm gonna be super excited. What you time at? I'm gonna be like, oh my god!
Right, 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 right.
But girl, as soon as I get off here, I'll, you know what I'm saying? Got you. Feel me?
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, love.
Mwah. I
Mm,
love you, my VV.
I love you too, Charlie.
I'm so excited. Okay. Anyway,
Me too.
um, but yeah, I think those answers do help with to know whether or not the person does qualify qualify for the death penalty or whatnot. That is true. The jury has to decide without a shadow of a doubt. And the thing about if you're convicted and you're put on death row, it has to be a unanimous decision. The jury cannot be split on the decision. It has to be unanimous. Every person has to agree to the death penalty. That's another thing that people don't understand. So it's a lot harder to actually get that versus life with possibility or life without the possibility. That's actually a lot harder to get because it has to be 100% unanimous decision that you're going on death row and that you're getting the death penalty. That's not with versus life with the possibility. There can be one or two, that's there and think, I don't know, no, on the death penalty, it has to be 100% across the board. There can be no doubt whatsoever. It's one of those things that is a lot more stricter to get versus life with the possibility, life without the possibility, all those other things. With the death penalty being on the docket, it's a lot more for the jurors. The jurors have to 100% agree with it. It can't be, oh no. In most cases, the judge decides if you're going to get with the possibility or without the possibility of parole. On a death penalty case, the jury actually has to decide whether the death penalty is on the record. And when you get that indictment, it's a lot that goes into it. But I would love to stay on here longer. I do have to get off here. I have to go get dressed. I have to take a shower. All those good, lovely things. My son's appointment ain't till 1, but this gives me time to get everybody together, get all of us dressed, get ready to go out. Because I don't know about y'all, but if you live in the country, Watcher knows this. Anybody that lives in the country, V knows this, everybody. Y'all know it takes about 20, 30 minutes to get anywhere, maybe an hour. Depending on where you're going. So I do got to go get all pretty and all that good lovely stuff. And I'm going to take me a little, a moment to breathe, if that makes sense, and get ready for this situation. Because I am going, oh my God, I'm crazy, like, oh my God. So, I got to take my moment. And that's when I take my moment and whatnot, I'm going to hit you up, VV. And I will talk to y'all all in a little bit. If I don't see you on the streets right away, you know what I'm saying? It's because I'm busy. Just know that I love you all and whatnot. And I will see anybody. Most likely, I won't be on here until later tonight if I'm on here at all. Just know that I love you. And if I miss any good lives today and I miss y'all, know that I will catch your replay, if not today, in the morning. Or sometime tomorrow because of all the stuff that's going on. Y'all know I normally love to support every single one of y'all. I love going in there. I love talking to y'all, and all that stuff. But with everything going on, it's a lot. I just want to say I love you all. Much love, hugs and kisses. I will see y'all later. Thank you, my angels. Great conversation today. Thank you to everybody that came up, everybody that just sending y'all much love. Bye.
from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction, this was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding, come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Outer Street, bending every corner on the west, and that's where I'll be. Sunroof back, Captain C banging down 1800, chunking up the deuce to my post slanging down on 1800. Show no love to the ladies that's training round on 1800, making time stand still. Crystalline swinging down on 1800. Watching out for them knuckleheads that be stanging round on 1800. Big rims and low pros be blanging round on 1800. Better completely change the way you're thinking about round 1800. Really hate to see you boys get left slanking round 1800. Out of street got some history, just let Captain C lay it out. If I don't finish it all on this one, let the second verse break it out. Remember the blue war promise from OG standing back there by 60 deep. Bull walking, tall blue, a big Anthony using P.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm reppin'